Loads of us semi-naked at Sink the Pink, me with tits out at a festival. I just had flour on each of my nipples there. There's a lot of tit-based history for me, 2 bears on my nipples. Me dressed as Madonna, me with loads of drag queens with our tits out. Then these were some of my breastfeeding era, because my tits also had that journey as well of being backstage at drag shows and doing a quick feed. I was in drag, breastfeeding. So these tits have had a journey already, you know. These tits have lived a good life, so I didn't mind losing one that was trying to kill me. This is my cancer story. Amy. Welcome to Margate Arts Club. This is my venue here in Margate. That's our stage and our decks. And yeah, we've run this venue for 10 years this year. I grew up in Kent and I always loved coming to Margate to the beach on school trips and stuff. And then, yeah, once we moved down, sadly, I witnessed some homophobic incidents that made me go, this town needs a pride. And there were a few of us that agreed. So we set up Margate Pride, which is also heading into its 10th year next year. And we started a queer youth group. Yeah, I was a BBC radio producer. I also became artistic director of a women's arts festival called Pal Thanet, which celebrates International Women's Day. So yeah, I had a busy life, but full of things that I loved. And then I had a child who's now 7. And then I found a lump in my right breast just before Margate Pride last year. And I thought, that's not just a normal lump, you know. And then I went to the doctor and had a biopsy and went down the road of finding out that it was breast cancer. Oh, the day he told me, yeah, I very much remember that, because it's like the scene in a movie where you look up behind your shoulder like, oh, surely he means someone else. And it didn't really sink in that moment. I didn't hear anything else he said. And then I didn't sleep for a week because I thought I was about to die, because I didn't really hear the bit that's like, okay, it's primary breast cancer, it's not the end of the world, that you know I'm about to die. But I just heard cancer, and I think a lot of us have these presumptions about cancer that it just means death. So I wasn't eating and I was like really kind of on edge. So I put all the photos of my son on a hard drive. I wrote my wills, I put all my passwords in a document so my little brother could like cancel my Netflix and stuff. I was being very helpful. I went in, I did a family tree for my son, and I did it with like watercolor and stuff. So I really like fully, you know, went for it. And then I rang my breast cancer nurse a week later, and then she told me, don't worry, you're not going to die. And then I was able to look at all the leaflets that they'd given me without fear, because I had a lot of that, obviously, like kind of I obviously wasn't in a good state, the fact that I was constantly shitting and, you know, not sleeping. But I was strangely productive. And then I was more practical in right, what are we going to do then? So they like to take out all the lymph nodes, the whole breast. So I don't even have like a nipple, I just have this kind of scar, which is a bit wibbly there. Because I suppose it's different. So a lot of my friends who've had top surgery have been really helpful throughout this journey, because obviously with them it's more of like a flat scar and they keep a nipple, but certainly with mine they weren't able to even keep the nipple, they just wanted the whole thing gone. So I was just kind of made peace with that. So I said goodbye to my boob. Did some silly shows actually, like put like outfits on each of my boobs and send my friends silly videos of them like exiting the room and stuff. Yeah, actually quite ritualish, yeah. Ridiculous, I know. But it was also weirdly therapeutic to do those things anyway. And now I'm really grateful, because I'm like, cool, all my son's photos are on a hard drive, like that's helpful. So in a way, you know, some good kind of came from that. So this is my cancer story. In fact, it's quite an easy way for me to explain my whole story. At that time, I had lots of like social media hate for absolutely no reason, because the internet's really weird. I just kept thinking, united, we could fight the actual bad guys. Then I found a lump. Funnily enough, I was putting on fake tan because I thought, I'll probably get my tits out at Pride. So I sort of took the tit in my hand with the fake tan on it and then felt a lump. And then the next thing that happened was you get into the system. So you have the boob sandwich mammogram, you have a biopsy, someone tells you you have breast cancer, you get a letter that basically looks like that. CT scans, MRIs, all these things. Then I had my boob chopped off, surgery day. Oh yeah, and then on surgery day, I got there, I was in the gown and he said, sorry, we can't operate because of my white blood cell count was too low and they didn't risk of infection. So I then felt like a dead boob walking, and me and my cousin went for, because I was expecting to leave with one breast and I was leaving with two, so it was really confusing. We went to the Dalby Cafe, which is a greasy spoon, and then we swam in the sea, and then we had a cream tea at the Walpole Bay Hotel, because we were like, what else do you do when you're meant to be having your tit chopped off? And then 2 weeks later, I had the actual, so take two, the chop, I had the actual boob chopped off. And then my cousin made me lots of crispy cakes. We did loads of jigsaws whilst on drugs. And this was my blood bag. So they kind of attach, they call it a drain, and it's like a pipe.